All right, guys, our guest tonight is Ring of Honor star Frankie Kazarian. How you doing tonight?
I'm well. How you guys doing?
Can't complain. We got you on the phone, my friend. Listen, Ring of Honor's coming to Philadelphia for the Winter Warriors Tour on Saturday, January 24th at the old ECW Arena. As a fan of wrestling as well as a longtime performer, what does it mean to you to wrestle inside a building with as much history as the 2300 Arena?
It's obviously really cool. Believe it or not, in all my years, I've only wrestled in that building once before, and that was probably 10 years ago. So it's kind of cool to go back to the scene of the crime, so to speak, for Ring of Honor. They kind of cut their teeth in the Philadelphia area to begin with, and you know that particular arena is forever going to be synonymous with pro wrestling. You know, whether it be ECW or whatever. But it's cool. It's kind of like the Cork and Hall of North America. It's just a cool building to have said that you've performed in, and the Philly fan base just lends itself to that environment too. So it's super cool to go back to that building. I'm glad it's still there.
Mike Chiari?
You've had the opportunity to compete at all different levels of professional wrestling over the course of your career, obviously. And knowing that, what is it about the atmosphere and energy of a Ring of Honor event that kind of sets it apart from other promotions and makes it special in your mind?
That's hard to answer. I think a lot of it has to do with the rabid fan base and the fact that they kind of expect Ring of Honor to top what they did before almost every time, and Ring of Honor has a tremendous track record of doing that, just solely based on the in-ring work. And that's a credit to the Ring of Honor company, their fans, and just the incredible athleticism and brilliance all the guys bring to the ring. It's Ring of Honor's, priority first and foremost above any other wrestling company is the in-ring product, which I think fans recognize, and fans really appreciate that. The hardcore wrestling fans know that the Ring of Honor is catering to them just by presenting the best pure wrestling product in North America, hands down.
Well, you and tag team partner Christopher Daniels, known as the Addiction of Ring of Honor, have found incredible chemistry in the ring and on the mic over the years. What can fans expect from you in Philadelphia, and can you reveal any details about who you are squaring off against?
As far as the who, the what, and the when and where, we don't know who yet. But one thing we found out since we've been in Ring of Honor, whoever it is, it's going to be a new and unique challenge that we're ready for and we're looking forward to. And people are very familiar with us in that area. People are very, very educated in pro wrestling in that area. And, since we've returned to Ring of Honor, started with Ring of Honor last year, we've, met a lot of fans that have basically come up and thanked us for coming there. And it's odd because I, want to tell them thanks for having us, but they're so kind of happy to see us doing our thing and not having any reins put on us or any restrictions. But one thing, Ring of Honor is going to be in Philly. It's going to be a great show, great roster. We're going to be there. The fans are going to be the winners for sure.
Mike Chiari?
Since making the move to ROH, you and Christopher Daniels have had the chance to mix it up with some of the best tag teams in the world, including Red Dragon, the Young Bucks, the Briscoes. As an extremely successful tag team wrestler, how would you characterize the tag scene in ROH currently?
Well, I don't think there's an argument that can be made that it's not. Ring of Honor doesn't not have the best tag team division in North America. I mean, hands down, you can't. I'll debate anyone about that all day long. Obviously, we knew about the Bucks long before. They're old friends and enemies of ours, and what can you say? They're on a different planet right now, and they're one of the best in the world, and it's always a thrill and a privilege to be there with those guys. Red Dragon's a team we found out about basically right when we started with TNA, and two guys who bring a unique style, a lot of MMA-based stuff, but gel incredibly well together and have an incredibly successful track record as a tag team. And obviously they're holding the two top tag team titles in the world right now. Briscoes are guys that I was a fan of from afar for many years. I think they bring everything to the dance that a pro wrestler and a pro wrestling tag team should, whether it be their style, their look, their character, the promos, everything. wasn't a huge fan of those guys. And the few times we've got to mix it up with them, it's been electric. There's a good chemistry there, and I would look forward to doing a lot more with the Briscoes. And it's a fun time to be a tag team wrestler, especially in Ring of Honor.
One of the biggest events of the year for Ring of Honor is the 13th anniversary pay-per-view, Sunday, March 1st, in Las Vegas, which should be an absolute blast. With the rise of a product like the WWE Network, what do you say to critics who question Ring of Honor's decision to continue utilizing the pay-per-view format?
Well, I don't really understand people that criticize using the pay-per-view format when the biggest dog in the yard is basically going away from the pay-per-view format. I think that opens up a huge market to other promotions such as New Japan Pro Wrestling, Ring of Honor, to kind of pick up the slack, because obviously WWE is gearing everything towards the network. That's their business plan going forward. So if that's going to leave a void in the pay-per-view arena, I think Ring of Honor is the perfect company to fill that void and to be a company that's on traditional pay-per-views and present 2, 3, 4 of them a year, which is the way I think it should be, the way it used to be. Don't oversaturate the market with pay-per-views. Do 4 really special ones, and I think the fans can really get on board with that. And I don't find the criticism to be just. I think it's a great move by Ring of Honor, and if they continue to use their televisions to build up to those pay-per-views the way it was done in the past and the way I think it should be done in the future, it's going to be a great 2015.
Mike Urey?
Christopher Daniels is obviously an ROH legend, considering everything that he's accomplished in that promotion. But your experience working with ROH was pretty limited before you made the leap last year. So ultimately, what went into making the decision to join ROH, and how did you know it was the right move for you?
Well, our time at TNA had come to an end, and I was there for a long time, 12 years, and had a lot of fun there. A lot of history there. I was there almost since day one. And, I had only wrestled very briefly with Ring of Honor, and this was years back. Chris obviously had done a lot more and was a lot more familiar with it. So leaving TNA, that was kind of the last uncharted territory for me, was to go to Ring of Honor. And basically I wanted to go where the best wrestlers and the best wrestling was. At this stage of the game, I wanted to test myself as an individual, and we wanted to test ourselves as a tag team against the best in the world. And the best in the world reside in Ring of Honor wrestling. So it was kind of a no-brainer. We kind of knew towards the last days of TNA that that's kind of what we were planning to do, and Ring of Honor was kind enough to welcome us with open arms, and it's been a blast. It's a perfect mix of veterans and young, hungry guys that are going to be the future of the business, and it really was just like a foregone conclusion, basically, that was kind of the next step in the evolution of me as a performer.
Oh, it's a perfect segue. Ring of Honor has really stepped up its game on the free agent market, adding Daniels and yourself, AJ Styles, Alberto Del Rio, and many more. What does the addition of veteran names to the roster do to the company's reputation, and how have the younger talents reacted to the influx of experienced talent?
I think that, having guys like Christopher Daniels and myself, Alberto Del Rio, obviously, AJ Styles, Matt Sydal, I think that might put some new eyes on Ring of Honor, just people that were fans of those individual performers, whether they were in WWE or TNA, kind of following them, seeing where they're going next, and then, discovering Ring of Honor if they hadn't heard of it or weren't too familiar with it before. I think that puts more focus on Ring of Honor, brings new eyes and ears onto the product. And as far as the young guys, I think they've in my experience, they've all been very, very. They've been very eager to learn. Always wanting to know what they can do better, what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong. I've never once felt like, what is this guy doing here? What are they doing here? What are they doing back? Everyone's been super cool and really eager to work with us, and the feeling's mutual. and it's really a team atmosphere in the locker room. You know, every match is trying to top the one before it, and trying to build an excellent show, and then top that the next town. So it's just a really cool blend. You know, having the guys you mentioned. And let's be honest, you know, guys like AJ Styles and Del Rio, these are, you know, very well known, incredible wrestlers. So it's just cool to have that mix of, you know, 15 to 20-year veterans, and then, you know, guys that just really started to really make some noise on the indie scene and Ring of Honor scene.
Mike Chiari?
Tag team wrestling's kind of been your main focus over the past couple of years, but when you see the singles talent on the ROH roster, like an Adam Cole or a Styles or a Matt Sydal and a bunch of others, do you get the itch to have a singles run? Is that something you'd like to try out in ROH?
I mean, to be cliche, I'll say never, but, you know, Chris Daniels and I have worked very hard, you know, for the last several years, establishing the act that is The Addiction, or formerly Bad Influence. And I think I can speak for Chris in saying that our priority right now and going forward is the tag team, just because we've put so much of our heart and soul into it, and it's kind of a brand we created. So coming into Ring of Honor, we came in as a package deal. And yes, we've already had a handful of single matches, which have been a lot of fun, both of us. I just worked Cedric Alexander, who's an amazing young talent. And, you know, they're definitely going to sprinkle in the singles matches with us. But right now, you know, the focus is the tag team. The focus has been the tag team. And, you know, there's an old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I really don't think we've even scratched the surface of what we can do as a tag team. So having said that, once we achieve what we want to achieve in Ring of Honor as a tag team, is there a potential run for both of us as singles wrestlers? Maybe. But, you know, right now the focus is the brand and the act that we've created.
I'm going to last round of questions here. You've wrestled for the WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor, and several other companies during your career. What are some of the key lessons you've learned in the past that have helped you become one of the top talents in the business today? And are there any guys on the Ring of Honor roster right now that you see that potential, that it factor, that could become big top stars?
To answer the first part of the question, just over the years, learning how to work smart and stay ahead of the curve, and to, you know, play to my strengths and avoid my weaknesses, and just protect my body. And, you know, as a younger guy, especially starting in TNA, I would, you know, in a lot of the Ultimate X matches and stuff, I took a lot of risks that were probably unnecessary, but at the time I thought that's how I was going to make my name. You know, not that I've necessarily toned down my style much. I think I just work a lot smarter. And that's just from working with guys that are better than me over the years, and, you know, working with guys in TNA that I was blessed to work with, like the Kurt Angles and the Christians and guys like that. So I think that's really helped me, especially the last 6-7 years. I think it's really, you know, I've really learned how to work my style, but still work safe and, you know, focus on longevity, you know, because almost 17 years in, I'm still doing it and I feel better than ever. And not a lot of guys can say that. The second part of your question, yeah, man, there's several guys that I think have something. I mean, I think the whole roster has something, but, you know, guys that stand out. Like we were talking about Red Dragon, those guys are the act. Adam Cole, absolutely. I think he has the total package. You know, he's got the charisma, he's got a good look, and he can get it done in the ring. Same with Cedric Alexander. You know, I think, you know, once he puts the package together as far as a character and, you know, can express himself verbally, he'll be there. Same thing with ACH. I mean, he's got all the skills in the world, but I think once he puts everything together, you know, he'll do whatever he wants to do in the business. And, you know, and that's just to mention a few guys, you know, because I think there's a lot of guys with a lot of potential there. I mean, if you look at Ring of Honor's track record, a lot of guys from that company have gone on to do some pretty cool things in this business. So I don't think you're going to see that stop, you know, anytime soon. You know, Ring of Honor is kind of the real farm ground for the farming system for the next breed of wrestlers. You know, I know the Performance Center is what it is, and they're putting guys through there and saying that's where talent comes from. But if you look at the guys that are there now and the guys that have come from there, they really, really put their teeth in Ring of Honor and on the indies first and made their name and developed their brand there. So I don't think that's going to stop with Ring of Honor going forward.
Mike Chiari, final question?
The list of great legendary tag teams that you and Christopher Daniels have had the chance to face over the years is a long one, but if you could choose a team either past or present that the Addiction has never gotten to face, who would that be and why?
That's a tough question to answer. I mean, there's a lot of, dream matchups and fantasy booking I'd like to do. If you want to go back and talk, teams like the Rock and Roll Express and Midnight, obviously that's a no-brainer for me. Growing up a huge British Bulldog fan, those type of guys. We only had a chance to wrestle Motor City Machine Guns 3 times during a house show run at TNA, and we had obviously great chemistry with those guys. We've known them both for years, and we've worked them both for years. Right now, I definitely like to do some more stuff with the Briscoes, the Time Splitters, Alex Shelley and Kushida. We haven't done anything yet with. I'd like to do that. Any formidable tag team, we're willing to get in there with them. That's, one thing we're very blessed is that since we've started with Ring of Honor and have been doing independent shows around the world, we've really got to see and really got to wrestle a lot of great tag teams, just not only in North America but in Europe, and it's been a blast seeing what's out there. And any formidable tag team that's coming up, we're looking forward to mix it up with them.
A huge thanks to Frankie Kazarian for coming on the show tonight. Don't forget to catch Kaz and all of Ring of Honor in Philadelphia at the old ECW Arena, January 24th. Please tell the fans how they can support you.
Well, I'm at Frankie Kazarian on Twitter. That's basically the extent of my social media, but you will hear everything going on about me through there. And, I'll definitely let you know where I'm going to be, Ring of Honor dates and otherwise.
Another huge thanks to Kazarian for coming on the show. Thanks again. Good luck moving forward, sir.
My pleasure. Thank you.